Hi teachers! Today I'm going to show you how to create a Google form to collect all of your important back to school information from your parents about your new students. So the first thing you want to do is go to drive.google.com. You want to make sure that you're logged into your Drive account. This can be your district Drive account or it can be any other Drive account that you're comfortable using. You're going to go to New, and then you're going to go to where it says More and then click on Google Forms. You want to create a form here. The first thing you want to do is make sure to title your form. So I always like to title it my name, so Patterson's class, and then the year, 2015, 2016. Press OK, and then you can see up here that your form now has a name. And then right down here is where you can go ahead and start typing in your questions. So these are all the questions that you're going to want information about your students. So first thing to start with would be the student's first name. And I like to actually separate first name and last name into two separate questions, and I'll show you why a little bit later on. So we have student's first name, and then the question type is going to be text. We're going to have the parents type in the student's first name. Okay? I'm going to make this a required question by checking this box, and that just basically means that the parents can't submit the form until all of these important questions are filled out. So that means no skipping and no, oh, I forgot to fill that part out, and then sending it back home and hoping that the paper comes back. I'll click done, and then I'm going to add another question, and you can just continue to go through and add all of the information that you want from the parents. So student's last name. Again, the question type is going to be a text-based question. Okay, I'm going to make it a required question, and I'll click done. I always also like to add on here if the student has any nicknames. And under here where it says help text, that just means anything else you want to add to go with that question. So I always like to say something like, what would you like it to say on your child's name tag? Because I usually get my class roster and then I name everything, or I put all the kids' names on it, and then the kid shows up, you know, on the first day of school and says, that's not what I go by, and then you have to change everything else. So this will help with that. Again, that's going to be a text-based question. You can see all of the different questions types. You can choose paragraph. That would be if you were doing a question like, tell me anything else about your student, anything else you want me to know, anything that they have to type in a little bit more. You can do checkboxes, choose from a list. So maybe you were making a question like, would you like to volunteer? If so, which days would you like to come? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday? And they can choose from that list, or they can check in those boxes there. So there's lots of different choices you can play with there. I don't need that, so I'm just going to make it a required, just close that up, make it a required question, and then press done. I know that these are all required questions because there's that little red star next to it, and on this form I like to make all of the questions required just so I'm not missing any information that I need. I would continue to go on and put all of the questions like student address, mom's full name, that's going to be a text one, done. I would just keep going and get all of the information that I need on this form. Keep going. If I also wanted to, oh, and I noticed here that I forgot to make this a required question because it does not have a red star next to it. So to edit it, I'm just going to go to Edit, and I'm going to make it a required question and then press Done. You can also, if I didn't want this question anymore, I could delete it. Okay. You can also take these and drag them and drop them to reorder them. Okay, I don't want that there. I want that down here though, so I'm going to move it back. Very simple to do that. And then you can also, if you wanted to duplicate a question, instead of doing mom's full name this time, I'm going to do dad's full name. Okay, and you can just continue to go through and add all of the information that you need in there from the parent. You can also see what the form will look like by clicking View Live Form here. Okay, and this is what the parents will see when they log in, or when they don't even need to log in, when they go to your form to fill out their information. So they would this is what they'll see. If you go back, you can change the theme and make it look different by clicking Change Theme here. And you can choose from this list of all of these cool themes. You might want to do something, maybe I'll do this for back to school. Okay. I could view the responses, but there aren't going to be any responses yet because I haven't shared this with any of my parents yet. So to share it, what I want is I want parents to be able to fill this out. And I would suggest giving this to parents at back to school night and giving them time to fill it out then. Or you can always send it home in your back to school paperwork, or whatever way you want to collect the information from the parents. But essentially, the parents are going to need, if I press send form, they're going to need to get to this link right here. Okay, and it's a pretty long link, it's pretty confusing, and pretty much nobody wants to type in this crazy URL. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Command C to copy it. So I just copied it to my clipboard. You can also go to Edit, Copy, and that will copy the link. Okay, I'm going to press Done. Now there's two ways that I like to send parents to get to this form. You can either create a QR code, which is really simple. Just go to qrstuff.com. Okay, paste that. I'm going to press Command V, and there's that URL. And you can see over here that it generated a QR code. Now when the parents use a smartphone and they scan this using a QR code scanner, it's going to take them directly to this link, and this is what they're going to see. They're going to see my form, and hopefully they'll go ahead and fill it out. Another way you can get this to parents is by shortening the URL. I like to use bit.ly. It's bit.ly.com, bit.ly.com, and all you have to do is paste the link, and it'll shorten it there for you. So it went from being this long URL to this short URL. This is a lot more manageable for someone to go ahead and type in rather than this big old long one down here. Okay. I should also go back and mention there's some settings here that I like to just make sure that I have in order. I do not want to shuffle the question order because I want these questions to stay intact. Only allow one response per person. I usually keep that unchecked as well because it does require people to log into their Drive account, and parents have a tendency to not want to fill things out if they have to log in, so I just leave that unchecked. And if you want to show the progress bar at the bottom, I usually just leave all of those unchecked. And then at the very bottom, I uncheck these as well. So I don't want to show a link to submit another response. They shouldn't need to do that. This one says publish and show a public link to form results. You really don't want to check that because you wouldn't want parents to be able to click on it and then see all the other parents' answers. That wouldn't be good. And parents really shouldn't need to edit their responses after submitting. So I just leave these all blank. This is what it's going to say when the parents are all done filling out their form. Your response has been recorded. So I usually like to just type something in like, thank you so much. Looking forward to a great year. Okay, and everything in Drive will automatically save itself, so you've noticed that I haven't been having to press save or anything like that. It's all saved in real time. Okay, now one more thing, if I go back to my Drive, you might wonder, well wait, what if okay, so once they've filled out their form, so hopefully they'll have a smartphone and they've either scanned the QR code or they've gone to your URL there, and they're going to go ahead and on a smartphone or a computer or any sort of tablet, they're going to go ahead and fill out your form. Once they've filled out your form, if you go to your Drive, Drive is automatically going to generate a response sheet. We didn't have to do anything in order to do this, and it's right next to my form. So here's my form. My responses are going to be right here. So if I double click on it, once my parents start filling out this information, it's going to show up right here. They'll timestamp it and tell me when they filled it out, and then all of my information will be right here filled down. And I'm going to show you what that looks like, what a completed response form looks like. Okay, so here is a completed form that if the parents were to fill out all of the information that you added on your form, this is what it would look like. So you would have all of the information here. This should say student's last name. I don't know why it doesn't. I can just add it in there if I need to. And it's okay if you have students that come to you late in the school year, you can go ahead and you can, or if they move houses and they have a new address, you can go ahead and manually put in any information that you need to in there. You can also, this is the best thing ever, you can also organize your stuff by pressing, so if I'm in the column, I know that I like to give my students a number based on their last name, so I'm going to move this so the last name, oops, I'm going to pick up this column and I'm going to move it so the last name is first, and then by clicking this little arrow here, I can go ahead and sort the sheet from A to Z, and then it puts my students in order, and it keeps all of this information intact. It doesn't just organize this column, it organizes everything, keeps everything intact and together. So hopefully that can help you as we head back to school with any of your paperwork. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Good luck!